Seguimos en el Mobile World Congress 2013 con más entrevistas. Esta vez, como os decíamos al principio de la cobertura, vamos a intentar traer empresas con las que no hemos hablado en el pasado para escuchar visiones nuevas sobre temas del sector, y nos visita en esta ocasión Cheyenne de la empresa Bluwan, que nos va a hablar de lo que hace la empresa y podamos tratar un poquito el mercado, el segmento de mercado donde ellos se mueven. Cheyenne, welcome to Telesemana.
Thank you.
So I was telling our audience that first you would give us an introduction on who Bluwan is, so our audience know exactly who you are.
Okay, great. Great. So Bluwan is a point to multi-point millimeter wave backhaul specialist. We build equipment in the 42 gigahertz and 12 gigahertz spectrum. It's been a tremendously successful year for Bluwan, leading to the delivery of broadband, super fast broadband, to thousands of Africans that are getting next generation access for the first time in our technology in East Africa.
So Africa would be your main market at this point? Or?
We have two solutions. We focus on emerging markets, so emerging economies. Africa, South America is next on our list, where the provision of next generation super fast broadband has been a challenge so far, because there may be fiber connecting the countries, but how do you get the bandwidth inland? It's very challenging, and we have developed a solution called Broad Fusion that enables us to deliver 100 megabits per second to subscribers' home.
Wirelessly?
Wirelessly, with about 20 to 25 times the capacity of LTE.
Okay.
So that's one of the things that we're here at Congress to discuss.
Just let me, before you go to the second one, would be a solution, proprietary solution, right?
Yep.
For fixed access.
For fixed line access, exactly. Substitution for fiber GPON, essentially. And then the second thing that we're very excited about is today we announced the availability of a new solution called Link Fusion. And Link Fusion is, well, as you know, at Mobile World Congress this week, the big topic is the commercial reality of LTE deployments, right? Operators are currently struggling with how they can deliver capacity to not just LTE, but small cells. Networks are becoming unpredictable, right? You don't know where the next wave of demand is going to come from. Is it going to be the next Samsung device or iPhone device or new applications? What's voice over LTE going to do to the networks? So really, the networks are becoming unpredictable. And I think the GSMA has recognized this because they've dedicated an entire afternoon session tomorrow on small cell and small cell economics.
Small cell is going to be a hot topic here.
Exactly. So Bluwan's extremely proud to have been invited as a thought leader to speak at that session.
For the small cell? For
the small cell session, primarily because we've always believed that you may not be able to predict the unpredictable, but what you can do is stretch the unstretchable. And what I mean by unstretchable is current backhaul technologies that are available in the market today are unstretchable, right? Fiber has a huge time to market. Point-to-point microwave, well, unless you want dishes all over the place, which I know Sao Paulo has experimented with, but they're trying to reduce that. You're going to need to figure out solutions where you can provide bandwidth density and have your network scale as demand grows, but you don't know where it's going to be here or here. So having a system in place that can scale as the demand grows and target the bandwidth in the right locations at the right time is key.
Well, one of the things you mentioned is because you have this technology that is able to offer kind of a GPON substitution. Probably that's perfect for LTE backhauling.
Well, the thing is,
isn't it?
Yes. I mean, it's a different kind of business model because when you're looking at fiber GPON substitution for consumers, you need to have very low-cost CPEs. The quality of service doesn't need to be at 5 nines or 4 nines. You can get away with 3 nines for residential access. So you need to look at the cost structure and the total cost of ownership, especially when you have an end consumer involved. With mobile backhaul, you need to provide higher carrier grade type products. You need to provide dedicated bandwidth, no contention. So it's a different business model, which is why we have two different solution sets.
Then let's go for the backhaul solution. Why your architecture or your solution solves all the issues that you mentioned? Because you mentioned, backhaul solutions today cannot be stretched. And then you have all these unpredictable scenarios, and suddenly it seems that obviously you're saying this because your solution addresses all these things.
Obviously, otherwise,
you're bringing those issues up.
Thanks for setting this up for me. So
you're on your own.
So really, it's very simple. Bluwan's Link Fusion system is a point-to-multipoint system. So already by using point-to-multipoint, what we were trying to address is the CapEx and OpEx efficiency that multipoint technology provides. You have one radio, you install that where your fiber is connected, and then you create a 360-degree coverage, And what we're able to do with our radios is deliver 10 gigabits of capacity wirelessly.
What distance?
2.5 to 3 kilometers, depending on the range zone.
No line of sight, or?
It's line of sight. Especially with that kind of capacity,
you need to
have to go up in the spectrum. So we operate in the 42 gigahertz spectrum, which is millimeter wave spectrum. And we're the only multi-point vendor that provides millimeter wave type solutions. So 360-degree coverage, perfect for dense urban areas where there's a lot of sites. Combinations of LTE eNodeBs, carrier Wi-Fi, small cells, heterogeneous network layouts, right? And we provide essentially gigabits, multi-gigabit per square kilometer, and each endpoint can go up to 250 megabits per second. So more than enough capacity on every endpoint, and more than enough capacity in the overall coverage area. That's 20 to 25 times the capacity of existing PMP systems today. So that's really what we talk about, bandwidth elasticity. The other thing that we're able to do is, because it's line of sight, that can be a challenge, especially in dense urban. You've got buildings, new construction. What do you do? Well, we're the only PMP system that's actually being able to develop a very low latency relay system to go around street corners. So essentially, when you're providing coverage in an overall urban area, you may have a building right in front of you blocking your line of sight. What we can do is we deliver bandwidth to that building, and then hop off that building and essentially cover a masked area that building was masking. By the same instance, or the same token, you can hit a T-section, right, and a traffic light, and we can then relay down the streets with narrow beam antennas, right, basically 22 or 6 degrees down the street, and essentially mesh the network together that way, providing all of that capacity around that area.
Interesting.
And that's a very innovative part of our solution, because we have enough density in our system, enough capacity in our system to actually catapult that bandwidth moving forward.
All right. Tell us when the company was founded, and just a little bit of background so people know your expertise on this area.
Right. So the company was actually spinned off from an aerospace and defense company called Thales in 2005. So a lot of our technology came from the aerospace industry, and we took that aerospace technology and transformed it for the carrier market. On our team, the chief scientist of Bluwan is a knighted scientist from the French government who worked on radar systems and very high-end telecommunication systems. We operate we're a French engineering company with offices in London. We operate pretty much around the globe. You heard Africa, the Middle East, the United States, and very soon South America.
Well, you said very soon. That means that you've seen opportunities in Latin America? Or?
There's a huge opportunity in Latin America. I mean, primarily if you look at it both from a fixed broadband or a mobile broadband perspective, the opportunities are amazing. I know that the tendency in South America has been to leverage mobile broadband as a way to provide any type of broadband to the end user. We firmly believe that it's possible to provide super fast broadband without compromising on performance. And sometimes mobile broadband means compromising on performance. So our strategy in South America will be twofold: to revisit the fixed access business case with our technology.
Well, because the fixed access was going to be done through WiMAX, and now WiMAX is a little bit fading away.
Yes,
so now
and TD-LTE is potentially going to replace that. But I mean, we have, one of our clients in East Africa is an LTE operator, and they clearly said, look, the reason they chose Bluwan's Broad Fusion access solution is because with LTE, they can provide maybe 150 megabits per second of capacity, which means that they're never going to be able to provide HD television, HD IPTV, or HD voice. It's going to be a compromised type of solution. They've used our solution, even though they're an LTE operator, to provide data offload. So they still have the LTE network.
But when you're not home?
When you're at home, you're using Bluwan's Broad Fusion to get massive download speeds injected into your service. And that provides them with tremendous, HD voice.
Are you selling the CPEs as well?
We're selling everything from
with Wi-Fi,
integrated Wi-Fi for the last 100 meters if needed. Interesting use cases where they have prefabricated buildings that have our Bluwan dish on top of a cafe.
And they just connect the
and then Wi-Fi for the 50, 60 people around the cafe. So that's essentially what we're doing from transmission hub to node.
Okay, interesting. Well, Cheyenne, thank you so much for visiting us.
No problem.
And I'll invite everybody to visit your website, bluwan.com, I guess.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.